Hey guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes Technical Espionage Operations for the PlayStation 4. This game is also available on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. Apparently the PlayStation 4 is supposed to be the best looking one. Of course, you won't be able to probably tell because I'm recording this with a camera. I have no way to use my capture device because not only is the PlayStation 4 currently not compatible, although I heard they will be changing that with firmware, I don't have HDMI input on my capture device, so I have to record with the camera. But the PlayStation 4 version is the only version that runs at 1080p. Now, I would only recommend this for people that are hardcore Metal Gear fans because it's a very short game. It's more or less a demo with a few missions. It's at an extremely discounted price. I believe $19.99 for download and $29.99 for a physical copy. The PlayStation 4 version is the only version that runs at 1080p if that's important to you. But I myself notice a major difference between 1080p and 720p personally, but that's just me. I also have a very small room and sit really close to the TV, so that could make a major difference right there, but if you're sitting far away from the TV, maybe you won't notice. But the current gen versions run at 30 frames per second, next gen versions run at 60. Let's get started. This is a very simplified version of Metal Gear Solid 5, and I think that they were just preparing people for what the main game, which is apparently 200 times bigger than this game. And apparently, the creator Hideo Kojima basically said, I hope I'm saying his name right, basically said he was scared that, of course, I have a network error. He's worried that people won't be able to finish the game because it's so large. I, for one, commend that because I am so sick and tired of very short single player campaigns. I love the Metal Gear games. This is more in line with Splinter Cell Conviction. It's difficult, like, as you can get spotted easy, but I mean, there's a lot of leeway for getting caught. Usually, when you get caught in these games, it's usually game over, but this game is pretty flexible. Without further ado, let me start instead of yakking the whole time, which I have a tendency to do. Again, I apologize. I'm recording this with a camera. It's not only convenient for me, but it's the only way I can record PlayStation 4 games. So if the quality shit, I apologize. I've been working on it. I know it will never capture the quality of a capture device, but I kind of like the feeling of sitting on the couch, and recording it. There's something about that, I don't know, about that experience and the, I don't know what word to use for it. I guess guerrilla style of it all. To me, it's more exciting as long as you can see what's going on clearly. The colors are going to be subdued, of course. I didn't mean to pick this one, but whatever. That's what happens when you talk. We're going to return the title. I wanted to play the main game. I might be able to finish the main game now since I know where everything is, assuming I don't get attacked. But now you know what daylight looks like. If that's what you wanted to see. Alright, mission select. We're going to play Ground Zeroes. There's also extra missions. There's this one where you have to eliminate 2 guys. There's this one where you're on a helicopter and you gotta rescue, which is funny, the creator of the game actually. And there's this game where you gotta find an informant, and there's this game where you gotta blow up that anti-aircraft guns. And there's 9 badges hidden throughout the map. If you find all 9, there's this mission. I haven't really gotten to play it because I just recently unlocked it, where it reenacts scenes from Metal Gear Solid 1, but we're going to play the regular game. And this is actually a really good showcase to show what your system's capable of. I'm really curious to see what the PlayStation and Xbox 360 versions look like, because apparently when they were showing the trailers when they first announced this game, I use the term game loosely. This is more or less a demo. If you're only a casual Metal Gear fan, I have no doubt in my mind that Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain is going to be awesome, but this is a little pricey for a glorified demo just to show you what the new game's going to be like that's going to come out in a year. So if you're not a huge fan, I highly suggest you just wait. You're not missing much. Watch the video or somebody else's playthrough if I don't play through the whole thing. This game looks really nice, especially in motion. YouTube's, of course, going to take half of the frames of animation out. But 60 frames, it looks really nice. I saw the trailers on YouTube, they looked good too. I guess that's 30 frames. But pretty much what I've been reading, no matter what system you get it for, it's going to look really good. I'm just curious what the current gen versions look like, because I've only seen the PlayStation 4 version. If it looks anything close to this, that's a major accomplishment with technology. So this was essentially the trailer, and the detail of everything from the guns to the helmets and stuff. I mean, that gun with the folding stock, it looks not 100% realistic, which what I'm guess they're going for, but it has this pseudo surreal look to it, and the textures are awesome. Like I said, I haven't got to see the PlayStation 3 version, but I really would like to know what it looks like. I can't wait till hopefully Digital Foundry does one of their little face-offs or whatever they call it. I always get the face-offs and head-to-head between them and the Lens of Truth. But the Lens of Truth barely updates their website anymore. Really, Digital Foundry is really the only one to go to these days if you want to compare ports. I'm not a fanboy by any means. Of course, I'm gonna go for the stuff I have, But I'll be the first one to admit if there's a version that I don't have that looks better. But I'm just always fascinated by the same games being put on different platforms. It's like a different artist painting the same picture another artist is painting, and it's just interesting to see the different techniques each console would use to achieve similar results or the same results in some respects. The music they're playing right now, I apologize if it's a popular song. I personally never heard of it before, but it reminds me of either a grindhouse movie soundtrack or a old Italian horror movie soundtracks and credits. Which I had the movie The Beyond, I believe that's considered a grindhouse because it had that drive-in theater rainbow swirly feature presentation thing going on with it. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I think they do it on the Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino grindhouse movies. I think Death Proof and I don't own Death Proof, but I own the other one. I can't really think of the name offhand. The girl that has the machine gun for a leg. Planet Terror, I believe it's called. Yeah, that's the one I own. I don't own Death Proof, and I can't remember the one I own. Age has not been kind to me. So instead of David Hayter actually reprising his role as he's always done as the voice of Snake, they actually got Kiefer Sutherland, who you might remember from The Lost Boys or and more recently the 24 TV show. The reasoning for changing the actor is because they're doing that motion capture thing like they've done for The Last of Us and Beyond Two Souls, where they put the little dots on people's faces and stuff, and they actually have to act. And I guess David Hayter is more of a voice actor than an actual actor, so they wanted somebody to convey a lot of emotion. Plus, I get the feeling when the Phantom Pain comes out, this is going to be like a Darth Vader type story, where you start out as a good guy and it shows maybe how you become a bad guy. I'm not sure of that because that game's probably a year away from now, but this game takes a more of a serious tone. I wouldn't say 100% serious because, I don't know, some of the stuff in there is always going to be fictional because of video game. I mean, the guy has an eye droid, which I guess you haven't seen yet, but it takes a serious, darker tone. Maybe you'll see what I mean when I start actually playing. Like I said again, this is really short. I might be able to finish the game in one sitting for this video. If I don't hold me to it. I really hope this shows up because I don't want to record this game again.
So who's the other target?
But you're not going to get the same effect unless somebody recorded this with a capture card. There are tricks to record the PlayStation 4 with a capture card. And I imagine the Xbox One version looks probably similar and you can record with that because I believe we can use component hookups with that. The one thing I do like about the Xbox One. At the time I got my capture card, I could record PlayStation 3 games with the component cable, so it wasn't an issue. And even when they first announced the PlayStation 4, they were basically showing that it was going to use component cables. Then last minute they took it out, I guess to make it $400.
We'll send a chopper from across the
Oh well. I have no budget right now to get another capture card. So we'll have to do with the camera. By the time I can afford a capture card, Phantom Pain will probably be out. Which there is an official release date. This game makes me want to play it so bad. But I assume it's going to come out maybe sometime early to mid next year. It'd be nice if it came out this year, but I doubt it. But nothing's been officially announced, so you just gotta wait and see. That kind of sucks. Teases you and you have no idea when it's gonna come out. And I thought waiting for like the seasons of The Walking Dead, well not the seasons, but the episodes in the seasons for The Walking Dead was difficult. Waiting for this is going to be a bitch.
Kept you waiting, huh?
This is a nice looking game. Sure, it's gonna probably look bluish on the camera, but there's not much I can do about that without turning the brightness up way high to show some of the browns and stuff, but it doesn't look as good. This is like a compromise, unless there's some special mode the camera can do that I'm not aware of. They don't typically make video cameras to record video game footage, believe it or not. This is iDroid, even though this takes place in the 70s, apparently. You have to use the suspension of disbelief and pretend that these things exist. I'm going to trade my tranquilizer gun for one that kills people. Probably don't want to go that way. Get up there. So one thing you might notice already off the bat, unlike other Metal Gear Solid games, you don't have a radar. and you can go to first person view. But with that spotlight, I can't see shit shining in my face. I saw some comparison screenshots. I gotta turn the light off. Also, the inventory is a lot different. Use the D-pad to actually select your stuff, and you only can hold, at least in this demo, are ground zeros. 2 guns at a time. Now they're looking for me already. The guys can see you a lot better than they ever could. You also can't really tell when you're hidden or not from any kind of indicator. You kind of gotta guess. Now, I don't know if they're going to use the feedback from this game to make the Phantom Pain better, or is this how the Phantom Pain is going to be? I have a feeling the Phantom Pain is going to be like this, except bigger and more stuff to do. I really think, especially since action games of this caliber, especially with shooting and stuff, aren't that popular in Japan, I'm sure they're a little bit weary about taking chances. So I think they wanted to release this to make sure that everybody was used to the game by the time it came out. One thing I wish they would change, the suppressors on the guns wear out really fast, but like I said, this mission's not meant to be overly long, so I don't know if you have a store you could buy more ammo and stuff. But this game really kind of reminds me of like a sandbox version of Splinter Cell Conviction. I better go hide. If the enemy does spot you, you have a second to blow their brains out. Like right now. I'm already caught and I haven't even gotten to the fence yet. This has Call of Duty like health. You don't have rations like you do in the other Metal Gear. I guess that's a standard. At least Hideo Kojima is actually making what appears to be an action/stealth game that lives up to the standards of like American action games. Like, because right now, if you ever read articles, the Japanese gaming like industry isn't doing as well because they're not adapting, I guess, to what's popular. They're basically only making games for a Japanese audience, and if you ever played a shooting game that was made in Japan, they always feel off. It's just not one of those things. Usually RPGs are more popular in Japan. A lot of times when they have shooting or action games in Japan, they actually make them easier over there. Because they're scared Japanese players aren't going to be as good, so I think they're a little bit hesitant about making a game like this, but this is the most on par like action type of game that I've personally played made by a Japanese developer. And they said one of the reasons for that is because the creator is well aware of that. A lot of Japanese developers are basically saying they're staying kind of behind the times, and they're getting help. They said from like Ubisoft and stuff like that. And when I say action games, I actually mean shooters, because Japanese developers are good at some action games like Bayonetta or, you know, Metal Gear Solid Rising. So, I don't know. I guess the term action game could be very broad, but I mean like a shooting type game. My silencer's already worn out after that short amount of time. I got a little submachine gun with a silencer on it. I unlocked it when I beat this for the first time. Hi. Go down to this prison camp that they're probably gonna see me at. Anything for me? Since I've played this game in the past 2 days, I've only found one silenced weapon besides a submachine gun. Shit. So this is pretty much a rescue mission, and you can't approach the people you're rescuing until they quit looking for you. The handling of this gun's a little bit sensitive when it's in first person mode. It's not as sensitive in third person mode. I think you can lower the settings a little bit, but not by much. That might be an issue for some people. Some people like looser controls. It's all up to you. I personally like the controls to be a little bit tighter. I'm gonna chill here for a while. The water and rain effects on this are actually really good in my opinion. You can tell it's not Solid Snake and its big boss. He's not wearing the bandana. Can't remember if he wore a bandana in the other games. And I was just playing Peace Walker. This is actually the sequel to Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which you can actually play on the brilliant Metal Gear Solid HD collection. Like, it has pretty much every single Metal Gear game except Metal Gear Portable Ops, the Acid games, which were its own thing. There was a Metal Gear Acid's actually a card game for the PSP, and then there was one on the Game Boy Color, which is like a alternate universe Metal Gear Solid game, so you're not missing that. But it has the main Metal Gear Solid games except the first Metal Gear Solid. But you can get that off of the PlayStation Network, or even could probably buy it and play it on your PlayStation 3 for super cheap. It sold an awful lot of copies. I'll wait for them to call down everything. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to fight all those guys, damn. Probably should switch to a silence weapon. Make sure that flashlight's off. I don't know why they put the flashlight on by default.
You can check the controls on the power screen.
Thanks for telling me that now. Now, let's hope we can unlock this without getting caught.
What's going on? Chico.
Chico's from Peace Walker too, but basically the HD collection has the original two 8-bit Metal Gears, the MSX versions, not the crappy NES one, although I don't like either 8-bit versions, but they're nice to have for, I don't know, collector's purposes and history purposes, so you know what the game's like. And then it has Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3. It doesn't have Portable Ops, which was the sequel to Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3, Portable Ops, and Peace Walker are actually a prequel to the old 8-bit Metal Gears. It's kind of convoluted, but if you go to Wikipedia, there's probably a timeline you can look at. Because right now you're playing as the main bad guy in the Metal Gear Solid, not the Metal Gear Solid games, but the two original Metal Gear 8-bit games. So these prequels are actually kind of trying to show you how, I guess, he turned into a bad guy. And this is a Metal Gear Solid 3 came first, then there's Portable Ops, and then there's Peace Walker. This is a sequel, the Peace Walker, and this is the little demo Ground Zeroes is actually a prequel to Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. And I don't know if that's where the story of Big Boss ends. It's kind of dark. They put bolts on the back of his legs so he couldn't walk. I don't know why he has that hole in his chest. I'm still working on finishing Peace Walker. Maybe they explain it in that.
I marked the RV on your map. Okay, now carry Chico there.
So, I'm gonna make sure we gotta go here. Sign the helicopter to meet me there. Alright, let's go.
Roger that chopper request. It's headed your way now.
Hope for the best. Actually, we're pretty close to the landing site. So hopefully shit won't go down. Come on, shoot. Why am I using my silencer? Oh yeah. Oh. Take it off. I gotta save Chico. So I don't know after Phantom Pain if the the original Metal Gear series, I keep on wanting to say Solid, but the first two 8-bit games are just called Metal Gear. I don't know if the Metal Gear series is gonna start, or is there gonna be more Big Boss stories. I have no idea. The game's long off. That's why this game asks more questions than it answers. It just gives you a little story of what happens after Peace Walker, which I probably should have waited to play this until I finished Peace Walker, but I couldn't wait.
Chico's tape. Think you could get us included Boss's location. Use your iDroid to listen to it.
So you have these tapes that you can listen to your brand new, probably just came out Walkman, complete with a nice silver case to put on your belt. Alright. So, usually you can use this tape for clues, but for the sake of not making an overly long video, assuming I don't die, I just need to get around here. I know where pause already is. You only need to save Chico and pause to finish this, but like I showed you, there's bonus things to do. There's a lot of extra stuff you could do to prolong the game experience, but this is the main story game. So we won't do anything extra in this video.
Must be near the heliport.
Hopefully this shows people that are fans I mean, I showed you a video of Metal Gear Solid 4. I don't know if it was effective at making you want to try it out. But there's a lot of people that just don't like Gear games. Hopefully this one will make you interested more so, because this one you can play like an action game almost, once you get the hang of it. So this game can kick your ass if you're not careful. Man, I hope one of those bullets hit you. They don't know where the gunfire's coming from, but I better get out of that area.
Chico left the tape on record while he was being moved. Try using what you hear to find Boss. If you're still not sure,
There's a lot of guys around here.
eyes open, Boss.
I knew I was going to get caught eventually. And make sure you don't get up. Oh yeah, there's a camera up here. I don't want to set off that alarm too. I think there is. Could have sworn I heard it. I know there's a camera on one of the sides. There's a little shit piece of it. Alright. Why are you running away from me? Am I that powerful? You can never get away with this much action on another Metal Gear game, I'll tell you that now. Oh, he's still alive. He's got a shotgun. I never even use a shotgun in this game. But I like the automatic weapons because most guys carry them. And they're fairly decent for protecting yourself. Just hide here for a while. Your footsteps, this might not go well. Almost feel like Jason Voorhees or something. I mean, like, usually if it's a bunch of guys, they could take you down, but just one guy, it's just nothing. Why don't you quit area? Call off the search. This is the closest call I've ever had. Shit. That was a miracle. I can't believe I took out that many guys. That might be the coolest thing I've ever done in this game. The music in this game is really good, even though it's the same composer since Metal Gear Solid 2. It seems like they really went for a dramatic soundtrack, but like I said, I think they're trying to take not only a different tone for gameplay with this, I think they're trying to make it more accessible. Although it feels harder at first if you're used to playing Metal Gear games because you want to play a certain way.
Boss, get us onto the helicopter.
Set my iDroid so I don't forget where the landing zone is. Make sure I call the helicopter. Meet me there. Because if you don't, it takes longer for the helicopter to show up. And I hope I have enough bullets to defend myself. I can't believe I took out all those guys. Yeah, he looks messed up. How those other guys down there didn't hear, that's beyond me. I'm playing on normal mode. There's a hard mode. I'm sure hard mode, everybody has binocular vision. You can't use your bigger weapons when you hold people, which can be an inconvenience at times. Should I let this guy survive or what? If he sees me,
Arriving shortly at LZ.
helicopter's there. Now all I have to do is just run like there's no tomorrow. There's a big ass tank going against me. Better run around. Don't run around explosive barrels, but run around as much shit as I possibly can that thing can't drive on. Driving on a road probably isn't the wisest thing. Cripple them. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Yeah, if you're used to action games with a little bit of stuff like Splinter Cell Conviction, if you like that game, you'll probably really like this. And it has like that sandbox Grand Theft Auto feeling. Okay. You get up there. Come on, get up there. I never had a chopper go down before, but this might be the first. Oh shit, there's a tank up there. This is gonna be a close call. Helicopter's getting a little smoky in there. But I think out of all the Metal Gears, this is probably going to be the most accessible. And it doesn't show so much on this mission because you only have two, but you can do them in whatever order. It's like Grand Theft Auto where you can pick what you want to do whenever you want to do it. You just have the missions right there. The main game, of course, is a lot bigger and it'll be more sandboxy from what I've read. I'm talking like I've actually played it before, but you know. But that's pretty much the gameplay. If you rush through it, you could see that was way shorter than probably an hour. We watched cutscenes. So we'll continue to watch cutscenes since we played the game. Another playthrough. This one, of course, was a lot easier because it's really not a full-fledged game.
Snake. Snake.
Well, this is supposed to be the part that some people are making a big deal out of, that's super controversial and dark. And the developer of the game was worried that he's going too far. You can be the judge. These are the most realistic looking rubber gloves I've ever seen in a video game. Though there's not really a lot of video games that have people with rubber gloves on like that. I like how he snips before he starts, just for attention. As realistic as the graphics are, maybe it's because it doesn't look, I don't know, I don't think it looks real compared to like the animations and the facial features, so I guess this doesn't really bother me. But a lot of people are making a big deal saying the violence is unjustified, but at the same time, in this universe, I think something like this could be plausible. And if Big Boss becomes a bad guy, I mean, I have a feeling he'd have to see and feel some pretty messed up shit to make him go crazy. I don't know if the other games, the sequel's gonna be this violent, but apparently this is the scene that was supposed to be super violent, but I mean, I guess because this game takes a more serious tone, the violence is supposed to affect you more. I don't know. It's a nice little peace sign on it. I don't know if you can see that on the video.
Breathing stable, no active bleeding. She's clean, I'm closing her up.
You do that stat.
Control tower, this is Morpho 1. All early birds are on the way. We'll shake hands, then head back to the cage. Boss, you got a call. Boss, can you hear me?
What's up, Huey?
He sounds a little upbeat. It's like, what's up?
Document destruction and hangar decontamination are complete. AFVs have been stowed away, and the Zeke's on a...
No, I saw a video, I think it was on IGN. On the next part, the guy was like, you see this really cool scene, and it's like you don't even get to play it, you get to watch it. And I have to agree, I would have liked to play this.
World peace. Out. Tower, this is Morpho 1.
The graphics are so good. I know they're trying to cut down on the cutscenes compared to the other Metal Gear games, but the graphics and the animations and everything are so good. I almost wish there were more cutscenes. Now we're going to Mother Base. Mother Base is essentially the base that you build. You might have saw in my other video, and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. As you can see, it's not really too intact anymore. So it's another thing that pisses them off, I guess. But yeah, that's the base that you built. But I think you, from what I read, you might be building a new one in the other game. But it would have been cool to be able to play as Snake, even if it was an on-rail shooting segment. Wish you could have did this part. I guess this is just to show you how badass and stressed out he is at the same time. I don't know. I don't know if you know him, Peace Walker, but it is killing me to know why he has a hole in his chest that you can actually hook up headphones up to. I guess they couldn't afford that explosion. You notice it cut right before it blew up. Oh, slow motion missile. I'm saying that out loud just in case you can't see it on the video. Yeah, and this would have been fun to play. Oh well. I guess when the Phantom Pain comes out, whenever that is, hopefully there'll be more of this kind of shit. But you do your fair share of shooting, especially in the bonus missions. There's Kaz, he was the one that was talking to you on the iDroid, or whatever the hell you want to call it. He's from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I never really had too much time with Portable Ops. I don't know who was in Portable Ops. I can't remember if he was in Metal Gear Solid 3 or not. Apparently there's a little camera filming this because blood got on it. This kind of reminds me of the tanker mission. It was super short. By the end of it, I'm talking about the tanker mission from Metal Gear Solid 2. And by the end of it, something sinks and everything seems hopeless. But Metal Gear Solid 2 was a full game. You still got to play afterwards instead of seeing the credits.
I heard explosions. They played us like a damn fiddle!
That was a little melodramatic.
This isn't right, that was ours!
You can tell Keith Sutherland's a professional actor compared to whoever was playing Kaz. He's a little...
Bitch!
He's hamming it up a little bit, but
Come on, start talking, bitch!
he's actually from the other games. I don't think there's any other popular actors, so I think Snake is probably gonna emote the most, I guess, emote the most emotions. Can you use both of those words in the same sentence? I'm not sure. Now there's some controversy. Where people are debating on whether she's referring to her private area or not, where the other bomb is. I apologize for the cat meowing. She does that a lot, and she doesn't really ever stop. So, pretty much, beside this text right here, that's pretty much the game. Although, since I'm feeling a little generous, it shows a little preview of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. I shall add that to my video, if you've stayed here that long. If you haven't, you've probably already seen it anyway, but whatever. I'm gonna feel good that I'm trying to be generous. So I'm sort of being selfish, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. I don't know if my tripod's making that text crooked or not. If it is, oh well.
Your favorite song? Nicola Bart. Immigrants wrongly executed. But their deaths served as a message to others. That ours is a society that murders the innocent
I was gonna skip this. If it doesn't show the Phantom Pain, I'm sure you can look it up online.
Cypher's been in hiding ever since his grand experiment.
I think it's gonna show it.
No one's seen him in
So
years.
don't close that video out just yet.
All we hear are orders delivered by proxy. Except you. You met with him, face to face, in order to contact Big Boss. Tell me where he is.
Guess that's Chico.
Where is Cypher? Where is Zero?
Major Zero's in the first Metal Gear Solid. I think he might be in Peace Walker. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he's in Portable Ops. But I didn't play Portable Ops, but for like 5 minutes. Now that I have a PSP that actually reads discs, I should look into getting it. But I just remember it being difficult playing with like one analog stick. I didn't like that very much. Just like I held off on Peace Walker until it came out on the PlayStation 3 and 360 in the HD collection. If you do get the HD collection, keep in mind if you do get the PlayStation Vita version, the Vita version does not have Peace Walker on it. So here's some more timeline stuff for you. The Les Enfants Terribles, or however the hell you say it, I can't remember how they pronounced it. But that's actually the project where all the clones, including Solid Snake, were actually made. But if you're a Metal Gear fan, you already know that. If you're not a Metal Gear fan, you probably don't give a shit. You just want to know whether this game's fun or not. There's a little bit more footage beside text, so hold on. To be continued in the Phantom Pain. They're pulling that Back to the Future shit. To be concluded. I hope there's no to be continued on the Phantom Pain. I hope that's not the last Metal Gear game. Peace Walker didn't sell that well, but I think everybody realizes it was because of it being on the PSP. The PSP is kind of a niche system. So this is the preview. Doesn't show gameplay, but this is the preview story of the Phantom Pain and what we already saw. I want to play it, and I probably have to wait probably a year or more. Maybe not 2 years, but in some months maybe. I hate that they're already like telling you games that are coming out in 2015. I'm like, really? What's cool is coming out this year? I'm really hoping that maybe they'll bring it out sometime, maybe towards the end of this year. That's like wish it in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one gets filled up first.
Yes, I know. You would like to know how long.
I guess I'd rather them put the development time and come out with an amazing game than rush it though too. But it would be nice if they came out with a good game sometime this year. Did not make poor Mikey from Mikey's Videogame Madness wait. Alright, so that was Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes for the PlayStation 4, also available on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Xbox One. Oh, I got something else for beating the game. Who knew? So, if you're a huge fan, it's a no-brainer. Get the game. you'll be happy that you'll have the little preview. If you're just a casual person, this game looks fun to you. You might be able to red box it for all I know. But I'd wait till the Phantom Pain comes out. Just depends on which school you are, and if you're not a fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, wait. If you're a super fan, don't wait or rent it. I mean, it's a pretty short experience, as you can see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this, make sure you click the thumbs up to let me know that you like this video. And if you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe. And for those that you subscribe, thank you so much for supporting the channel. And remember, feel free to comment positive or negative, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Thanks again. Bye.